Okay, so guys, I just want to apologize in advance if you hear my brother singing, being annoying, if you hear outside being ratchet. I just want to apologize in advance if you're hearing a bit of a madness, sadness. We're just going to concentrate on Gershom, and that's on period. Okay, so 2 years ago I made a video where I talked about my dyslexia, dyspraxia and dyscalculia, and how I found out about it whilst I was studying. I was probably second year of university when I found out. So this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago I made that video. I feel like I was very vulnerable. I feel like I was very open, because when making that video I just realized that, you know what, Gersh, you're not the only person that's going through this. You're not the only person that has dyslexia and all the above. There's many people out there. Like, it's not this hidden secret to be ashamed of. Do you know what I mean? But I will keep it 100. 2 years ago when I made that video, I did not think I would be doing a PGCE. For people that don't know what a PGCE is, training to be a primary school teacher. So basically it's a 1-year course, and my mom is being loud. So yeah, a PGCE course is a 1-year course that you do, which basically gives you the tips and tools to be a primary school teacher. When I tell you God works in mysterious ways, after I graduated, yeah, I genuinely thought that was the end of me and education. I proved my point. I graduated, I did what I needed to do despite the odds, and that's it. Capiche caposh. It's even mad to think about it, because I genuinely, when I made that video back then, I genuinely didn't, the thought of being a primary school teacher didn't even come to mind. I genuinely thought me and education. And if you watch my previous videos, like with hashtag Black Girl Diaries, I touched briefly on the struggles of even getting into this course. I literally felt like me and education just can't be, like, me and the school and uni, like we seem to just be like this. Again, like I said, if you watch my previous videos, especially with hashtag Black Girl Diaries, I spoke about how I had this conviction in my heart that this was the right choice to do, not to give up, to keep on going, because clearly this is bigger than just me. And already I'm diving in deep, I know, but I wholeheartedly believe it. All of last week, it was just a big reflection. I was having many revelations in regards to why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is to all the students that are studying during the pandemic. I genuinely salute, big up us, whether you have dyslexia or not. It has not been easy. The stress, it's been a lot. So anyone studying during this pandemic, honestly, you need to rate yourself real quick, because it hasn't been easy. It's been challenging to say the least, but I know that we're gonna get through it. That's on period. Even though I feel like we deserve some of our money back, that's another conversation. So university back when I first studied versus now, completely different ball game. Especially as a dyslexic student, it is a different ball game. Like, I knew it was obviously going to be harder, because this is basically master's level, but I wasn't I tried to, okay, so obviously it's smart to obviously pre-prepare. Like, one habit that I caught, I feel like whether you're dyslexic or not, it's smart to just look into your course properly, get the books and all of them things there before you actually start your course, which I did. I was proud of myself, because I knew how to go about it this time round versus the first time I started uni. Do you know what I mean? But gosh, it has been so challenging. Like, one thing I'm always going to stress, and I'm going to say it with my chest, is that you really, if you are a dyslexic student, if you have any learning disability, you need to push and get the required help and support that you need, because if you don't say anything, you're not going to get it. Do you know what I mean? And granted, doing your masters and doing a degree anyway is supposed to be very independent. 9 times out of 10 you are on your own. You are just listening to the lecturers. But no, you have rights. You are allowed certain things when you are dyslexic, and if you do have a learning disability. And I had to fight. I really did. Had to hand in all my information, had to keep pushing it, because it's like, although I know I have to have a certain amount of independence, because when I get out to the real world, that's the way it's going to be. I just can't keep using the excuse that I'm dyslexic whenever I come across a different challenge in real life. Whilst I'm in the education system, I'm going to reap all the benefits. I'm going to reap it with my whole chest. Dyslexia doesn't have me. I have dyslexia, which means that it doesn't rule over my life. However, there's certain things that I need to adjust in my life to make life easier for me, especially whilst I'm studying and being a teacher as well. Like, Like, everybody's dyslexia is different. One thing that I struggle with, another person that has dyslexia probably doesn't struggle with, and vice versa. It comes in different ways, it affects you in different ways, but it's one of them ones where, especially when you have your mentor, I can't stress it enough, if you are dyslexic, it's so important to have a mentor. But with having a mentor, you need to make sure that you're learning from that mentor, as opposed to letting your mentor do all the work. Like with my mentor, even the one that I have with now, I feel like I'm very blessed, because even last time I was studying in my other university, I had such a good mentor. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better one. And the same with this one that I have this year, because they help, they'll give me the tools, they'll allow me and even whilst they're giving me the tools, they're making me understand why I need to do this, why I need to do that, and allowing me to come up with my own conclusions, which works out better for me. Because it's one of them ones where, one thing I learned about my dyslexia is that once I understand, I'm good to go. It's just finding my own technique in doing the thing that I need to do, doing the task that I need to do, approaching the essay that I need to approach the essay in. It's like, once I understand in Gersham's way, which does take longer, sometimes I need two people to explain to me what's going on, or how to do it, or to watch in-depth videos to make me understand, or to even do challenges to help me understand what I'm going to do. Once I get it, and I work great. Like there's no cap. It's just finding my niche, it's just finding my way, understanding it in Gersham's way, having it broken down to me in a way which I'm able to fit the puzzles in for myself to create the best work. Because both my mentors said this, I'm a visionary in a sense of, I have these ideas, I'm like, so many ideas in my head, so many creative ideas, and I feel like it all works so perfect with being a teacher, but it's just articulating it onto a computer or writing it down is what I struggle with. And I've gotten better, because like I said, I've learnt different tips and how to note take in a way which works for me, and all of those things there. But the point is, it's very doable. Like, I'm completely confident in the fact that I can do anything I put my mind to. It's just finding my way and not being scared when I see other people understanding quicker than me or doing things a certain way, because once I understand, once I do it Gersham's way, no matter how long it takes, I can deliver. It's having that self-belief. Like, one thing that I clocked, self-belief has to play a big part in my studies, especially whilst being a teacher. I just want to get into my experience right now, like being on placement in an actual school, learning to be a primary school teacher. I'm not gonna lie, at first it was extremely overwhelming, because there's a lot to it. There is, like, we're not even gonna sit here and lie. Like, I had to realize, okay, Gersham, you're obviously always gonna have to be one step ahead when it comes to planning lessons, learning how to connect with each child. Like, it's a lot. Like, fam, when I tell you, I've cried quite a lot this week. It's not necessarily sad crying, it's just a mixture of emotions, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot, but God knows what he's doing. He really does. I feel like I've always had a passion for children, because I just feel like you start your being as a child, you know, and I feel like the influences around you impact you so much. I scream that in general anyways, but especially as a child, because it shapes you for who you're going to be when you grow older. So it's just learning how to do everything else. But what I've clocked is that my passion for wanting to be the best impact in a child's life outweighs the workload. I really believe it. I feel like, because I'm not teaching lessons yet, but I've been doing them there and then. So for instance, doing registration, helping them in story time, and just walking around the class helping each and every child. Like, my passion for wanting to be the best impact in a child outweighs the hard work, outweighs the marking, because I can do that. Again, once I find a routine that works for me, I know I'm going to be ace at it, but it's just everything else. It's just the marking, it's just the workload, it's just meeting all these teaching standards that had me like, oh my days. I honestly believe that I am living proof that you can have dyslexia, dyspraxia and dyscalculia. I have all three, and now I'm training to be a primary school teacher. I feel like that's an example of how God works. He uses your weaknesses for greater. because there's going to be kids in my class that have dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, all these other different things, and that can't limit them, that can't stop them. Like, I know nothing's in vain. Like, none of my journey where up to now isn't in vain. Like, even the other day I clocked that, fam, the way I'm going to need my theatre and drama degree more than ever whilst teaching, because I already know that's going to be my niche. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like last week when I was watching like the other teachers teach, I'm thinking, rah, can I do this? Like, they do it so different. But that's the point, each teacher's different. Like, the way I'm going to teach is going to be completely different to what any other teacher is going to teach, because it's like I have my way. Like, at first, for a split second, you know, I thought, did I do my degree for no reason? Absolutely not. The way I'm going to interpret my theatre and drama studies, because one thing that I learned is that although you're teaching children, yeah, you have to entertain them. They're looking at you all day, so you have to entertain them. You have to, like, you're the driving force behind their motivation. And it's like, gosh, you can really use what you are gifted with within this work. It all works together beautifully. It really does. Like, I'm understanding more now why God is asking me to do this, especially last week was such an emotional week for me. But it's like, it's funny how you use my weaknesses to make something so beautiful. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it feels that way because I know it's not in vain. It's know that once I have my classroom, once I'm confident within the way I am and how I'm going to teach, I'm going to be a bomb teacher. Like, I know that for a fact. The little kids, yeah, all of them are going to have self-confidence. All of them are going to believe in their own source. I'm a very happy person anyways. I feel like I've always had what is it, what, I don't know what the word is, but everyone always says you're very enthusiastic, you think, like I've had that all my life. But I'm clocking that I'm going to need that more than ever. Like, I was praying to God and I was saying, you know what, me standing close to you, it's for more. Me being close to God is for more. I need to be so content, because it's like I want to project that onto the children. If I'm negative, if I'm not believing in myself, if I'm not staying close to the word of God, that's going to affect on the children. And I feel like it just touched me even more. Like, yo, like, I have to, like, God, this isn't no joke. I want to be content. I want, even when I'm not feeling my best, I still want to be able to deliver properly, because these children's lives are at stake. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just been hitting me a lot more now. Like, okay, I'm gonna need you 10 times whilst doing this job, even during this placement, because it's a challenge and a task within itself. But I'm a strong believer that I can do it. So yeah, I just wanted to make that quick video just to encourage you to keep on going. Let me know under the comments if you want me to go more into depth about how I deal with my dyslexia, my dyspraxia, my dyscalculia, tips and different things like that. I did not think after making that first video that I was going to do a PGCE, and that's absolutely mad to me. I've come to peace with God really knows what he's doing. This isn't in vain. You know, I've kind of had to accept for myself that, okay, a season is definitely changing, Gershon, because this is it now. This is going to be your first salary job, like your first proper job. And I've said before in previous videos that I believe that it is for a season, but I want to live out that season to the fullest extent. I want to make the most of that season, and I believe it's going to be for bigger, because I feel like now more than ever, I know, God, you know what you're doing, and I have peace with it. I have peace with the fact that everything that has happened throughout the years is aligning for a bigger purpose. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Mwah.